Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you are well. Right. Sure got that set up properly. So, hope everybody's day has started off well. Having a good day, having a good time, whatever the case may be for you. I think I wore the right shirt this time. Right. So, today we're talking about ignite our personal growth. Maybe I should have wrote igniting our personal growth. I think I may actually change that to igniting our personal growth. And while I'm here right now in the beginning, let me double check to make sure the sound and everything is good. Yes, it is. All right, so let's jump into it. Get over here now. We spend a lot of time trying to find ways to be happy and successful. But are we really doing everything in our power? Sometimes the answer is no. The truth is that personal growth strategies do not have to be difficult or even scary. It's hard to change. We get comfortable in our lives and it feels like risk is too great of a price to pay for the unknown. But if we want more out of our life than what we have now, it might be time to take the leap into that unknown. The biggest difference between people are those who try new things and those who don't. Those who don't. So think about that. How often are we actually trying to put ourselves out there? How often are we shying away from the new opportunities and not allowing those possibilities for our growth to be taken full advantage of because of simply being afraid of that unknown? So we have to be able to see those, right? And that's again something that is not an easy task or something that a lot of us want to do or want to be doing, and we got to be able to do it. Simple as that. So the first way that we can go about doing that is reading. There's more information available than you ever will need. Why go down the same path when someone else has already been there and done that? Investigate what is out there, take in all perspectives, then learn from those who have succeeded before us. This is by far my favorite. We have the ability to take 30 years of knowledge from someone in a book they have written, and we can consume that in 3 days, right? Which saves us decades of time. There are people that have been in our exact situation before. There are people that have gone through every single thing that we have gone through. There's nothing that we are going through now that someone in the past has not gone through. Now, again, put aside the advanced technologies, things of that nature, troubleshooting an iPhone, right? Obviously, 30 years ago, no one was troubleshooting an iPhone. So again, keep things in perspective here. So if there's something that you're going through, I guarantee you there's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20 books, articles, blogs on the same exact situation. And we're trying to figure out ways to advance and get ourselves there. And we're just wrecking our brain to figure this out, where there could be those blogs, books, and articles out there. And all we have to do is pick them up and skim through them, right? Read through them, get thorough on certain areas of it. And just like I mentioned, but still taking 2 or 3 different perspectives on it. I think that's very important, that we don't just have one perspective on a certain situation and we take that and we use it and we just run with it, where somebody else might have a different viewpoint, or they may have had a greater or lesser vantage point in that certain situation. So that's one thing that we have to do, is start reading more. And the way that I started picking up on doing a little bit more reading and making it where it was somewhat enjoyable, because I absolutely hated reading with a passion, but I've been reading now more in the last, probably 4 years than I did in my entire life. But again, the way I picked that up is Instead of watching all of the episodes of Netflix, I said, okay, let me just do 5-10 minutes of reading and then I'll do my Netflix, right? And then as that became more of a routine and I started picking up on things that way, then I said, okay, let me do 10 to 15 minutes of reading, so on and so forth. And now, get all the way up to 30, 45, an hour's worth of reading. And now it doesn't seem as difficult. It doesn't seem so much as a task. And it's something that gets accomplished for me, right? The next way to go about keeping that personal growth going is take the leap. We might have experienced the exciting and fleeting feeling of a new idea, but then we talk ourselves out of it. The key is to take action before we give our brain a chance to overthink things. Make lists, make phone calls, or sketch out plans quickly. Don't wait until the short-lived excitement disappears, right? So I know few of you right now have had some great, amazing, and wonderful ideas, yet you talked yourself out of it. So how many times has that happened? I do it all the time. I'll go back to the podcast. Every single morning, I'm trying to talk myself out of jumping on here doing the podcast every single morning. But I know it's worth it. I know it's going to pan out in the end. And I know it's going to help a couple people here and there. And at the same time, it's going to help myself continue to develop, because now I have to continue to do more research. I have to continue to learn and investigate and pick things up and learn new skills and take the skills that I have and improve upon them each and every day. And maybe they don't serve me right now. Maybe they don't serve me today at this exact moment, but I know they're going to serve me down the road. It could be a year from now. It could be 5 years. It could be 10 years, right? Something that I learned today may help me be a better parent when my kids are teenagers. Something I learned today may help me be a better husband when we are, what do they call it, empty nesters, right? Something I learned today may help the business for our fitness or coaching. And that's how we have to look at things. We have to be able to say, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do this. I know it's new, I know it's different, but I'm going to take on the challenge. And again, there's going to be times that you fail. I've been there, done that, okay? Been there, done that, done it several times since coming back to Bakersfield and working and doing, working with people, working for people, doing my own thing. There's failure that comes with it. Take your lumps as they come. They're going to go away. Throw some ice on it. You'll be good to go, right? So keep it moving there, all right? The next way we can go is get a new crowd. So when you spend time with the same group of people all of the time, it can be easy to get stuck in a rut. Find new friends by spending more quality one-on-one time with someone that is completely outside of your normal social circle. This allows for better exposure to new ideas, conversations, and thoughts. Now, this one is tough because I was actually just having a conversation with somebody the other day when it comes to actually being around and communicating with other people that have a different opinion than yours. Today, it seems to be all or nothing scenarios. This is not all the time. This is not the full case. This is just my observation, right? So you're either all in on this group or you're all in on that group. You cannot have a couple of ideas that you want over here and a couple of ideas that you want over there, right? That seems to be not allowed these days. There's no way for you to like what this person says, 2 or 3 over here, and 2 or 3 ideas that you like from this person, right? So make sure you do find those people that are still open-minded, that are still willing to have those conversations, engage with you, and are respectful when they give you their perspective, and they are respectful when they receive your perspective, right? That's very important. Now, when you find that person, that is where your growth is going to come from, because you're going to have very different, varying opinions about something that's going on with yourself and then something that's going on with them. So you have to be able to see that and recognize that and understand that, okay? So make sure that when you are communicating with people, you find that healthy group that is going to be able to be there for you. So that big old light came on because wifey just got home and opened up the garage on me here. So next, we're going to go with comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Woo, toughie right here. Successful people's ability to embrace discomfort is one of the many things that sets them apart. They don't allow their displeasure with new challenges or unfamiliar situations to get in the way, and they continue moving forward no matter what life throws at them. And that's a toughie, right? It's nobody likes being uncomfortable. No one likes being uncomfortable. But when we actually go back and take a bird's eye view of that discomfort, how things worked out, and really engage with it and see what's going on, we see that we grew significant leaps and bounds from that discomfort when we allowed ourselves to push through it, right? If we stop and we decide to not engage with it, um, not take it for what it is, that's when we stop our growth, right? That growth is going to stop right there. So once we get up and we just hit that wall there, we're going to stay there and we're going to fall off, right? Versus continuing to work, and maybe we're going to be moving that wall and breaking that wall down, and slowly that wall is break down, that barrier is gone, and now we're continuing to move forward. So we have to learn to embrace the discomfort. Nobody likes it, nobody enjoys it. And again, it goes back to reading. It's uncomfortable sitting there reading, you're trying to find a spot and bookmark and everything else, right? We don't really like that. Or going into a new class setting and picking up on some new skills and not knowing anything where everybody else in the class might know something, and we don't like to feel like being that person that doesn't know anything when everybody else does, right? But over time, you're going to learn something. Over time, you're going to get better. So I find it very valuable to be able to embrace that discomfort. I actually try and seek it because I know that I'm going to be that much better. I personally don't mind looking like a fool, feeling like an idiot, and not knowing anything, because I know that if you have a mindset that I know everything right now, I'm the best at this and such, I don't need to learn anything else, then you're gonna be stuck as well, right? You might know a lot right there, but you're gonna be stuck there. You're gonna say that. I believe they call that dogmatic, right? You're gonna be staying there. You're not gonna be trying to change anything. Whereas when you don't mind feeling foolish and being out of place and trying to pick up on things, your growth is gonna be exponential. So find something that is gonna allow you to be pushed. Now, with all of that, obviously I have a closing, but before that I close, I had another step that I think is very important, and that's the baby steps. When we think about changing too much at once, our brain just cringes, right? We will have better luck if we go slowly and strive for consistent progress. Think about how much more change that would entail over the last, or you would have entailed over the last 3 years had we just spent 20 minutes a day on that project, or 20 minutes a day on our personal growth, right? So don't try to chew off too much at one time. Go ahead and take those baby steps. It's perfectly okay. Don't worry about or focus too much on what other people are thinking and be so concerned about the thoughts of others that we completely forget about ourselves and our own personal growth, right? That's how we continue to grow. That's how we continue to move forward, is by recognizing, I want to get way over here, but I need to put these steps in order for us to get there, in order for me to get there. So remember that. Baby steps, take those baby steps. It's perfectly fine to do so. All right. In closing, life can be tough. It's hard to think about improving ourselves when we're struggling with the daily grind in and outside of work. But if our life hasn't gotten better over the last few years now, that might mean it's time to try something new. Personal growth is challenging, so much so that anything else would seem easier than taking on this challenge. But it's not impossible. We just need more handy tips for someone who has been through this before. This is why our group, our community, our circles are so important and valuable to us. It allows us to communicate with those that have been there and those that are going through it right now. And that's why I love this group and this community here, because we share our experiences, we share what we're going through, we share all the things that we might find as a current struggle or a current situation that we're just trying to figure out and fumble through. But when we simply engage in a normal face-to-face or virtual conversation, we automatically get those different thoughts. We get different opinions. We get different ideas that can help us to continue to move forward. It can help us through the current problem. And maybe when you get through that problem, now you're able to help somebody else get through their problem that they are with, right? And that's why I love this community. You guys are awesome. We continue to jump on here every day, and we continue to grow every day, even if it's just by one person, right? And that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to help one another. We're here to encourage one another. And again, the shirt says, if you want something you've never had, you must do something you've never done, right? So we got to go after it. Today, Can you do that? Can that be you today? Can you do something that you've never done and take that necessary leap forward? Take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Continue to learn and grow. And we'll be back same time tomorrow. Thank you as